Hey friends and family, welcome to Marcie Creates. This is Marcie, and guess what I have for us today? I have a color inspiration series using the new bargain bead box, A Night in the Woods. And if you recall, we did an unboxing last week. We've got these beautiful owls and brass, carnelian, some very light cream and yellow beads, some more amber crystal beads, some very bright orange beads, and then we have some garnet and some red tiger eye. So we're going to be adding to the palette as we do, and what we're going to be doing is what's called a tetrad. So if you have not seen my color theory workshops, I did introduce tetrad in, I believe, the second video. I will link both videos in the description if you want to go back and watch the two color theory videos where we introduced all of this. But basically, it's taking the color wheel, and the tetrad is using a combination of 4 colors. It's usually 2 complementary colors. So what we're going to do, this is our colorway. This is what we're going to be doing. So with the box, we already have the deep russet red and the red orange, and we even have some pale yellow. I'm going to introduce more of this tone of yellow, this maize color, and then we're going to add a light kind of turquoisey green and a really pretty kind of teal blue. And so that will make our tetrad, because the red and the green are complements, and the green and the teal and the orange are complements. And then these are analogous. As you can see on the color wheel, you can use analogous colors. So we already have red, orange, and orange. And then we also have yellow orange, which is this maize color, which I'm going to be introducing. So a couple things going on there. So you have some analogous colors. You have a tetrad of 2 pairs of complementary colors, and you also have cool versus warm. So this palette's going to create a lot of interest. And as you can see, this is a very fall forward palette. And this is why fall is so beautiful to so many people. The reason it's visually stunning is because of all of these combinations, especially when, if you think about red, yellow, and orange leaves up against a brilliant blue sky, that's warm against cool, and that's also complementary colors. So that's what we're going to be playing with today. So I'm going to do a little reveal of the beads that we're going to be adding to this, and I will be right back. Okay, so for our color reveal with this new palette that we're creating with the bargain bead box, I have the bargain bead box. So these are the colors we started with. This is what came in the box, very warm, very analogous. And here is what we are adding. Ta-da! Drum roll, please. Applause, please. Whatever you like. But as you can see, I've picked up this pretty maize color. I've got some pearls here and some more crystals, some number 6 seed beads, and a couple of these guys. I added more orange to pick up some of this orange, and a little bit of red orange too in these pearls. We've got a pretty blue teal in different transparencies and hues. And then we have this really pretty kind of sea foamy turquoisey green. So that's what we're going to be playing with. So I'm going to put our palette right here. Hopefully you can see that. And let me just slide it under here, actually. You're just going to see a sliver of it on the side here as a reference. So let me just move some of these things. Now that you've seen the colorway, I'm just going to move some things up, and I will take this paper off just for the sake of making the jewelry. We don't want to, I like the white paper because it really shows you, this is kind of a neutral gray background, but the white really shows that the colors show up nicely. So I'm just going to be putting the colors in an order that I like. You can do this or not. This is just something I like to do. I'm just getting all the colors together. Now that we've decided what we're adding, I wanted to separate what the box came with what I was adding, but now you can see what I'm adding. So that works out. We've got some brass, some more brass, and copper and gold findings also. All right. And these are all the findings that came in the box. Here, I'm going to move the chain over. Okay. So we're going to do a necklace tonight. And I did already start it only because I didn't want this video to be super, super long. So let me show you what I've put together. So we are going to use this beautiful pendant tonight. And then these are some components I've put together already, which I will show you. I did a leaf with some seed beads, and the leaf comes in the mix. So we're going to do that. We're going to make this component next, actually. It's got one of the owl charms that I'm using as a connector, and then a couple of these beads that I've added, and we're going to do a necklace with that. And then I took some tiger eye beads, the red tiger eye, and I added the orange bicones that came in the box. Got a couple of those. We're going to make some more components with these. We've got really pretty kind of clear teal blue crystal. And I liked all these, so we're going to add these. I'm going to move the chain out of the way. And we're going to need another one of these guys. And we'll probably add some leaves also. A couple of these leaf charms. I'm thinking about possibly hanging something down here, but I haven't really decided yet. So wheels are turning. So basically, I did use some, I'm using antique brass copper wire in 20 gauge. And then I also have 22 gauge, 24 gauge, and more 20 gauge. I have two 20 gauges. I think I'll put that one to the side. So what I'm doing, is that right? 20 gauge, 20 gauge. This one feels, that's where I was getting confused. 18 gauge. 18 gauge is what I've been making the components out of. And we'll continue with that, with these guys. I'm going to add these turquoise beads, kind of a seafoam. These, you know, how turquoise can be blue and kind of green. I picked a more green, you know, to pick up this green color better over here. It's not exact, but it works. I do have some other beads in here. These little guys also have a little bit more blue in them, but I still think they work. And then we've got some that have a little bit more green. So, and I can't for the life of me remember the name of this stone right here. I want to say chrysoprase, but I don't think that that's right. And unfortunately, that's when I was buying beads and not labeling things. So, gemstone of some kind. I just don't know what it is. All right, so a couple of things here. I want to go ahead and show you how I did this on the feather. So we're going to do that first. So let's move all of these things over. We're going to take our, let me move these tassels out of here. You're just gonna make a little pile of seed beads. These are number 11 seed beads. And I thought they picked up that orange nicely. We are gonna use some 24 gauge wire. I would say maybe 4 or 5 inches. Just grab a bunch. You don't wanna run out. Just cut a little piece of that. Let me move my owl over. And our leaves. And what we're gonna do, so the first thing we're gonna do, so when I was thinking about laying out this design, this feather is kind of going that way. So I think I want this feather to go this way. Oh, let me move up. Let me move all this stuff up a minute. Sorry about that. Okay, so he's kind of curving this way. We're gonna have this guy curve this way. That makes sense. But we'll get to that when we actually add this piece. I'm gonna move that over. So for now, we're gonna just attach seed beads. And what's nice is this has this little ridge right here. And it kind of keeps the seed beads from moving, which is really cool. It's like a guide. So on this one, I did the inside. And so since we're going this way, we're gonna wanna go on the inside this way. So all you're gonna do is take your 24 gauge and you're gonna make some loops and attach it to the inside of the loop. And I find it helpful to use some bent nose pliers to get in there. And I wrapped it, I believe, 3 times. So we're gonna do that next. One more time. Oops. Uh-oh. We don't want to knock over our beads for sure. Okay, and then just leave him hanging like back here. We're going to grab him later. Actually, that's 4 times, but I don't think it really matters. Just do as many times as you want. It's not going to impede using this. And then we're going to come in here. So we want to go on the inside of this feather, just like that. So now we're going to add our seed beads. And what's nice about the 24 gauge is you can literally just treat it like a needle. Make your little pile of seed beads. And you can just string them on just like this. See how that's going to look? It just adds a little something to the piece, I think. You could also add patina paint. That would be very cool. You could glue some rhinestones. I love playing with the stuff they give you and embellishing it. So here is our channel of seed beads. I think I need one more. There we go. And I just want to make sure he's nestled into that, on that groove. And then we're going to poke our wire through here. Again, use your pliers. And we're just going to go wrap around this a few times. And I think this will probably be the most complicated thing we do today. But I thought it kind of added a nice touch to those feathers. You could go on the other side and do another color of seed bead if you wanted. You could pick up the teal. That would be pretty. That's up to you. Okay, one more. But I like that these loops are generous on these connectors, so you can do this. Oh, there's my puppy. Oh. Ginger, that's just the TV, honey. She hears the TV. Ginger. That's enough. Ginger, that's enough. Okay. She thinks the TV is somebody in the house. Okay. So now I'm just going to, I want to secure this other piece that I had previously wrapped with. And so I'm just going to come around and just do some loops this way. And then you want to come in and cut your piece back here so that it's not, doesn't poke anybody. And this kind of blends into your piece, so nobody really is going to notice it. And then we're going to cut that here. You could kind of dig it under, push it under something if you wanted. I don't think that's necessary, but if you feel more secure about it, go ahead. And then I just kind of smush it down. Also, it work hardens it when you press on it. Just be gentle because it is 24 gauge. And if you're using 26 gauge, be really careful. Anyway, here is our feather piece with the really cute beads. And that's going to go like this. Let me scoop these little guys up before I spill them everywhere. Been known to do that. All right, if I sound a little nasally, sorry. My allergies have been kicking me in the tuchus this weekend. Very windy and lots of pollen flying around, which is never, my nose is just not a fan of. Okay, so now we're going to make this piece with the really pretty pearl and these, they look like stone beads, but they're lighter. And then some little rondelles here. So we're going to use the, I think on these I used the 20 gauge, I'm pretty sure. And the reason why is this little guy, the little owl has a space right between his little toes, and the other gauge would not, the 18 gauge would not go through there. So I switched over to 20 gauge. Just like this. We're going to take a decent sized piece. And now we're going to wire wrap. Oh, let me get that end. Always get your sharp ends. There we go. Okay. So I think I did 3 wraps with the brass. We are going to add our feather. We'll add him. Hope you all are having a wonderful weekend. I guess it's the end, huh? It's Sunday. It went by fast for me. I don't know about you, but those weekends They fly by. Somebody was saying the other day that we might go to a 4-day work week in this country. I thought, that's interesting. What do you think of that? I wouldn't mind working 10 hours for 4 days and having 3 days off. Okay. Did I do that on the wrong side? I think I did. Boy, that didn't take long. Did I? Yeah, I did. Well, son of a gun. Yeah, you know me. So if that happens to you, here's what you do. You break your, we don't have to, we're not going to waste this piece. You can save that. You're just going to pull off your piece that you made. Just cut it. I was proud of myself because I remembered not to shut the loop before I added this. Okay, take two. Take two. Hey, it happens. It is just not, it's just part of the journey. Making boo-boos. All right, so I do want to make sure I'm going to have enough wire to, yeah. Okay. Let's try this again. So I'm just doing wrap loops. The other components are just making links. So this looks like that's how that should go. Yeah. All right. Back in business. Okay. It got real cold here and then it got hot again. I can't tell you how much that messes me up. And then, you don't know whether to put your air conditioning on or your heat. So we have that going on. Okay, so we have this added, as you can see. So now we're going to add a little turquoisey rondelle. Let's see, we got a couple of these guys. We need one of these. Let me see if I can find more of those bead caps. You go search for more of those. Unless I put them somewhere else. Let's see, here's one. Don't tell me I just have 3. That won't be good. Oh, helpful hint. Always count your stuff before you make a design. Because I think I don't have another one of these. Stay tuned. Okay, happiness is finding the missing piece so you can do your project. This one was still in my bead box. So thank goodness I had another one. Otherwise I was going to have to redo that. So, oy, oy, oy. things happen when you're making the jewelry. Anyway, I thought these were really pretty. These brass. These came from Bargain Bead Box. Different. They didn't come from this particular kit, of course, but I do like their bead caps when I try to load up when they have them, because I do like them. So now we're gonna make we're gonna add our owl. And see, he's just got the tiniest little space between his little feet. So we're gonna make a little loop. Let me get this oriented correctly. I'm gonna make a little loop. Oop. And we will attach him. It just fits on that 20 gauge. The 18 gauge was just a little too thick. Whoops. I'm saying whoops a lot tonight. All right, and I think I'm gonna have enough to make the tiniest of wraps. Probably should have used a longer piece, but for the sake of the video, I may redo this later, but for right now, just to get it put together, we're gonna go with it. All right. Thank you guys for all your kind comments on the breast cancer jewelry. I am making more. I'm hoping to load some more to my Etsy shop this week. I've got some more. I've got a necklace I'm working on right now and some more earrings. So those will be available. I'll link my shop below. I don't have a lot on there yet, of course, but I will. As I add things, of course, if you favorite my shop, then you'll get notified. No obligation to buy, but if you want to take a look, give me constructive criticism. I would love that, because I can always use suggestions from my beady buddies out there. So I'm kind of curving this middle section a little bit. I curved this one as well, just gently with my fingers. I thought that would help with the ultimate design of the necklace. So now we have these pieces, and I want to do, let's see, I was thinking of possibly taking these turquoise pieces. I think I need to push this stuff back. Possibly pushing these out like this, and then that way you've got a little pop of turquoise here. So my thought there, let me see, those holes are not, let's see, this is 20 gauge. That will fit. Let's see if 18 gauge is gonna work. I prefer to do the 18 gauge with the focal, because it's gonna be sturdier. But I don't, 18 gauge is tough when it comes to pulling through gemstones, and this is not gonna work. So we're gonna have to go with the 20 gauge, and that's okay. I'm going to get my bail making pliers, my smaller set. I'm gonna pull a big piece of this 20 gauge. I'm just gonna make a simple little looped focal, just to hang him and possibly these guys. We'll see. It may not be as, it may be more ornate than that. We'll see. We'll see how it turns out. Okay. Let me check my ends. Okay, those are good. So right in the middle, I'm gonna make a loop. Should have probably. And I'm just going to cross these over, just like that. And then I'm going to open this up. I'm basically making a bail for the owl right now. I'm just going to open this up a little. See how he's open? And we're going to slide our owl on. Just like that. And now we're going to twist. Maybe twice. One more time. Okay. So we want him hanging so he's facing. So this loop needs to stay perpendicular to that. So we're going to just slide, we're just going to bend these gently with our hands out into a Y shape. Just like that. We can always adjust this loop later, because now what I want to do is add some beads to this, because ultimately we're going to put these guys kind of like right here, and then we'll attach our feathers. And I have some of these really pretty leaf spacer beads that came with the mix. So let's add some, I think we're going to add some blue to this. Actually, I think I want more of a teal. These little round beads have more teal in them. Ooh, I like that next to the brass. Just like that. And then maybe we'll do a couple of these. Well, let's do some orange. Let's make it really festive, since we're going to be... I would like a representation of several of the beads that we're going to be using in the mix. Here's a couple of maize rondelles. Question is, do we want to do bead caps with those? Let's see. Throw a little more brass in there. I'm not sure I like that. Let's see. These bead caps are a little bit flat. I don't think I care for those. Maybe a rhinestone rondelle would be better. So maybe we'll do rhinestone. Oh, that looks nice. Okay, and then maybe we'll add these little beads came in the mix too. Those are pretty. I think I want this closer. Let's do this. Oh, I know. Let's sandwich these like that. Add a bicone. What do you think? Closer? I think closer. Closer to the owl. Let me move these off here. So there is some of that. I do want to add a pop of orange. So maybe we'll do that next. And then we'll add a leaf. And another leaf. Okay. So, I don't think I want to go up any higher than that. Let me see how this is going to look with the... I think I'm going to add one more orange bead. And then we will wire wrap these. Now before I wire wrap, I'm going to take the one side that I'm not wrapping yet, and I'm just going to make a loop so that the beads don't slide off of it. I learned this from Gem Hawks. She drops beads too. But this is a great tip. So now we don't have to worry about this side. We're going to attach this, so we're going to make a loop. Let's see, let's go this way. It is going to be a wrap loop. I know why Ginger is barking. My mom has this lady on the TV. She has a YouTube channel. It's a British lady. And for some reason, she makes my dog nuts. I don't know why. Okay, so let's see. We're going to have to add this. I don't know if it's her accent or the tone of her voice. I'm not really sure what it is, but Ginger's not having it. So now we're going to wire wrap this. I'm going to come in and just wrap. And we're doing neat wraps. Got a couple of comments from you guys that you like the neat wraps too. And you were happy to see that. So definitely paying attention to your comments. Because I want you to like your... I want you to like the channel. I want you to enjoy it and learn from it, but I also want you to, you know, if you don't like the messy wrap, I've done quite a few of those, so I can and do neat ones too. Just so you know. Okay. And then I think somebody else, I think it was Marika, was it? Someone said, we have no doubt you're still going to do color theory. Yeah, I like it. Once you start looking at things that way, it's hard not to look at everything that way. You'll notice it in advertising, interior design, fashion. Just trying to get to that last little piece. I don't want to crack my bicone. When you get close to the bicones and you're wire wrapping, it can be a little dicey. Can't tell you how many bicones I've cracked over the years. Seed beads too. You just got to be careful when you're next to them. There we go. Let's see how that's going to hang. We may have to do some adjusting. Let's see. That's the thing with wire that you have to pay attention to, is how it's oriented. But I like the 20 gauge because you can manipulate it so that things hang the way that you want. So I think this needs to be turned just a bit. Oh, come here, Mr. Owl. All right. So now we need to do, I'm sorry everything's moving. We need to do the other side. So let's add, I don't think we need quite that long of a piece, but we will bend this going this way. I'm going to take that loop off that I made. That was just temporary. There we go. Probably going to need to cut that because I don't think that the other piece is going to slide on there too easy. So this focal turned out to be a little more complicated than I anticipated, but you get the idea. That's just kind of how I build things. I play with them a bit. Oh, now let's make sure we're doing this right. Okay. That owl was backwards. It made me nervous there for a minute. Like, oh no. That's where you could add jump rings instead. If you don't feel like things are oriented the way you want them. You can always add a jump ring instead of, make your loops, close your loops, with your wrap, and then add the jump rings to change the orientation. You can do that as well. If that's easier for you, do that. Because sometimes you have to kind of manipulate this wire or the loops, what direction the loops are going in to get it to hang right. That's the only thing I would say about doing something like this. But the nice thing about the 20 gauge wire is it is very malleable. This brass is super malleable, so I'm not having any trouble manipulating anything. So let's see. Except for these little owls, because that space there between their feet's pretty tight. So on hindsight, I would have probably added a jump ring maybe to the owls, but I'm committed to this, so we're going to go with it. So here's where you can kind of play around with the way your loops are going. Also, when I put this on a bust, I will also play with what, I'll fine tune where those loops are. But this is what we have so far. Let me move these back. Isn't that pretty? So I have this piece we're going to add some tiger eye and do a few more links. Let's see. We want to make another one of these. And then maybe we'll pick up another bit of the green. Maybe a couple of those. I would love to put some of these pearls. Have to see. I also like these little guys. I don't know how many how many I have of those. I do want to make this a bit long, just because I think seeing all this, you could layer, I'd love to layer this with something. Maybe we'll do I have another one of these? Yeah. Just make sure when you're doing this, like, kind of work out what segments you're going to make, and then you'll know if you have enough beads. I don't think, unless I put these in the center, that would work. Maybe we could do that. A couple of teal. Or maybe I should pick up some, ooh, you know what? We should pick up some carnelian. For sure. Look at that. That's pretty. I love that English cut. We'll do a couple of those. So maybe not these guys. We'll put them back. I think we should do a couple of these. There's two. And then I don't think I have any more of those. Could do a segment like that. Or maybe we should add, no, I think I like that. Yeah. And so we'll get another good, nice length from our necklace. I haven't done anything with these pearls yet. This may be an earring. Maybe we'll do the pearls with some earrings later on. I do want to pick up more sparkly. I like those. Maybe we'll throw one of those in here. And one of these. And I think we'll see how long that is once we get those made. So, again, with my 18 gauge, let's see, where is that? I just want to make sure all the beads fit through here. I know that this one does because I made one already. So we're going to make our segments. So let's get going with that. I'll just do a few and then I'll do the rest off camera. But basically when you're making your segments, of course, you want to make sure your ends are flush. And then I'm going to come in here with my round nose. And I'm going to make a loop. Little P. Like that. And as Neelay Patel says, we're going to break the neck. So you can come in here with something small and pointy. And you're going to do that. And there's that loop. Slide your bead on. So you got part of a component. Then we're going to make a 90-degree bend. I go to about 1/4 of an inch there. You can buy one of those looper tools. Then I take my round nose and I add it to the end there and I walk this back basically like this. This wire is so soft. And if you have something like this happen, you can just grab the smaller part of your pliers and make it tighter. Or you can cut a little bit of this little piece and you can redo it. Now, the smaller gauges, now it doesn't want to cooperate. There we go. The smaller gauges, I would not do that with because they'll break. They'll snap. But your larger gauges, and I know that that loop is smaller than this, but the loop police are not going to come find you. What's nice, once you've attached all this, no one's really going to see it. But if you know, the more practice you do, the more even they'll become. And you can also mark on your pliers with a Sharpie if you want to make consistent loops, or you can always use your bail making pliers if you want the same kind of size loops. So there's that one. Let's do one more. This was from earlier. I think we had wrapped something the wrong way. So I'm just going to use that now since I didn't waste it. I'm going to make another. Oh, you know what? This is 20 gauge. Never mind. Never mind. We're going to save that for earrings because that's 20 gauge. So back to the 18 gauge. I forgot that was a different gauge. I'm going to get rid of that end. All right. Make our little loop again. Our P. Work that back. Let's do this segment. Carnelian bead, really pretty kind of seafoam crystal bead. Carnelian bead. And now we will make another loop. We're going to do a 90-degree bend first. So hold your beads, bend that over. About a 1/4 of an inch or so. And this seems like I would waste this, but you could make a little jump ring out of this. So don't feel like that's being wasteful. I know some people think, oh, they're wasting wire, but I save it and I use it, trust me. You can make a little charm with it too. I watched Gem Hawks make a bunch of charms with some leftover wire this weekend, and I thought, what a great idea. So all my little scraps, guess what I'm going to be doing? I'm going to be making little tiny charms. So hang on to your scraps. And then I like to come in with the bent nose pliers and kind of straighten everything up, you know, before I add the links. And then, as a matter of course, it's just a matter of opening up your segment that you just made. And then you want to add it to your... And I can use the 18 gauge on the top of the owls because they have a bigger loop. I didn't open that big enough. Just be mindful of how your wire is hanging. Close it up. Very cute. So I'm going to make more of these, and I will attach at least one side. I'll probably attach both sides just so we can wrap it up and close up the necklace. And I'm probably just going to add a length of some chain so that it can be adjustable depending on what you're wearing. And that way it could be a layered piece or not. And then we will add probably a toggle clasp. I haven't really decided how I'm going to close it off yet, but we'll get there. So stay tuned. I'll be right back. Okay, so the necklace has come together nicely with our links. And I do love all the colors. I think adding that maize yellow and the pops of seafoam green and blue really adds something special. And I really love the seed beads on the feathers, and then the addition of these turquoise pieces. They almost look like feathers too, in a way. But I did pull some Rollo chain out of I didn't use the chain that came in the box. It's the same color. It's a brass color, about almost 4 inches. And I'm just going to attach a toggle with some jump rings to the end of this. So let's take care of that and add our toggles. And you could, you could do leather back there. Any material will work, of course. That's up to you. I think some leather would be really pretty, actually. If I had some teal leather, I think I would opt for that. I love the way the leather feels up, the suede or leather feels up against your neck. It's really soft, especially when you're wearing a long piece of jewelry. I don't know. I just really like that. Also silk. I see a lot of closures with silk, and I like that as well. So basically I'm just adding these with the jump ring. And we'll add our toggle. And the toggle came from Bargain Bead Box as well. Also not, I think this box came with a magnetic clasp. I don't really use magnetic clasps. I just don't trust them. Even though they feel strong, I would hate for, to lose a piece of jewelry that I made. Or if I bought it, made it for somebody, I'd hate for them to lose it. So let me know if you have experience with magnetic clasps. Everything I've ever bought for myself has not stayed on. It comes off too easy. You can get yanked on something, and then pull it off of you. And it's just heartbreaking when you have a piece of jewelry and you've lost, a piece or so. So here is our toggle. Love it. And here is our necklace. I think I'm going to put down a white piece of paper so we can... All my busts are being used right now for my Etsy shop, so I don't have a bust tonight available to put this on, but we can take a close-up anyway. So let me do a close-up of the focal piece. So here's our focal. I think it's fine without anything hanging. I was going to do some stuff to it, but I decided not to. I did something with the feathers instead. And I do love our colorway. And all the beaded links look nice. And of course, just a simple toggle. But here is our palette. So I think we did a good job picking up all of these colors. Using the colors from the Bargain Bead Box, and then also adding those cool colors really makes a difference, I think. I think it adds a lot of visual interest. It makes it way more dynamic. Definitely a statement piece. And the owls kind of echoed in the links, of course. So you've got feathers, kind of a feather shape, the owl, and then all of the brass. So I think what we'll do for Tutorial Tuesday rather, we'll do maybe a companion bracelet and some earrings to go with this. That's what we'll do Tuesday night with this colorway. So you can have a whole set of matching items. And then we'll play some more, hopefully, with it. I also have a dollar bead box unboxing for you. Some finished jewelry. I have a Halloween necklace tutorial for you as well. Those are all coming up. And of course, we're going to play more with the Bargain Bead Box. So please like and subscribe if you haven't. I would love to have you. We've got a vibrant Facebook group, Marcie Creates. Look on Facebook. If you want to follow me on Pinterest, that's Marcie Creates Studio. I will link all my links in the description. If you want to watch the color theory videos, those will be in the description as well. And stay tuned for more fun color inspiration jewelry based on the bargain bead box. Take care of yourselves and your sweet families. I hope you're doing well. I hope you have a wonderful week. Stay safe, and I will see you on the next video.